sinabi sa inyo, buksan nyo po ang inyong mga mata, ang inyong mga tenga, at tingnin nyo ang inyong kapaligiran. At makikita nyo kung paano tumugon si Presidente Duterte mula sa pool.
Alam niyo, pag-aaral po sa mga rules and regulation at ating mga batas, lahat tayo entitled dyan. Kahit na anong abala natin, negosyante ka, anumang klaseng pagkatao meron ka, entitled po tayong mag-review, mag-aral ng mga regulasyon at batas para hindi tayo naliligaw. Kasi lahat tayo susunod sa batas. No one is above the law.
Sa halip na tugunan ang problema ng krisis, ginatupag ang ABS-CBN, para kang si Coco Martin din. At yung
Galit na galit.
Kayo bang taong bayan, sumasang-ayon ba kayo? Kontento ba kayo sa ginagawa ng ating Kongreso na mas inuna nila provisionary franchise, bibigyan nila ng prangkisa ang ABS-CBN samantalang marami po na dapat na investigasyon na gawin? Unang-una, meron pong resolution in aid of legislation. Ito pong si Deputy Speaker Pulong Duterte, Paulo Duterte, Congressman Tolentino at saka po si Congressman Eric Goyap. Ilang araw ko na sinasabi yan. Nakapile po yan, hindi nila ginagalaw. Mas inuna po ng Kongreso at ng liderato ng Kongreso ngayon, mula po nung last week, pagbibigay ng provisionary pansamantalang prangkisa. So, ito ba ay okay sa inyo? Hindi ba mas maganda ay investigation muna para maliwanagan kung totoong sila ay may violation?
Requirements. Ang napakalaki kasing alalahanin dito, Jen, yung pagkaka-issue ng Philippine Depositary Receipts.
Yan,
Ito yung hinihingi
dyan sila sumablay.
ng Committee on Franchise para lalo naming matukoy
Yan.
kung talagang naisaalang-alang nila ang requirement ng ating saligang batas na hindi po pwede na magkaroon ng pamamahala o pagkontrol ang sino man sa isang telecommunication outfit na hindi Pilipino.
Yan.
Ngayon, gusto naming salain sana sapagkat alam mo ba, baka hindi alam ng ating mamamayan na kailangan ito'y malaman nila na nag-issue shell company na nagngangalang ABS-CBN Holding Corporation.
Okay.
Ito ay hiwalay dun sa ABS-CBN Corporation. Ito ABS Holding Corporation ito. Hindi ABS-CBN Corporation.
Opo.
Ngayon, ito ay nag-issue ng 132 million Philippine Depositary Receipts.
Okay. Opo.
Corresponding to 130 million ABS-CBN shares. Gusto nating malaman, sino yung mga taong nasa likuran ng 132 million Philippine Depositary Receipts? Nagkataon pa, pagkatapos ng offering ng 132 million depositary receipts, nag-transfer yung Lopez INC ng the same number of shares, 130 million shares sa ABS-CBN. Alam mo, medyo komplikado dito, kaya natin binabanggit, ito yung ayaw nilang i-disclose eh.
Yan, talaga.
Nakalagay dito, majority of Filipinos. Hindi na pinag-uusapan eh, majority lang. Ang pinag-uusapan, 100% Filipino. Di ba? Bakit hindi na nila muna busisiin ito eh? Nakikita kasi natin, ako bilang isa, nakita ko na parang yung ABS Holding Corporation, parang alter ego lamang ng Lopez Incorporated. Parang securitization lamang yon. Ang sabi nila, wala namang voting rights. Palagay mo na. Pero ang unang tanong doon, nung i-transfer ba yung 130 million shares? Yung i-transfer ba yung share? O yung halaga mismo nun? Kasi kung 130 million shares times 46 pesos, kasi per share 46 pesos dyan eh. Hindi na alaman ng mga kababayan natin to. Ang ibig sabihin yan, ang tinransfer ba ay yung 130 million shares o yung
6 billion
value ng shares na yon na nagkakahalaga ng 6 billion pesos. Ngayon, palagay mo na yung voting rights nasa ABS Holding Corporation. Paano yung ano? Sino yung may power na mag-trigger dun sa 130 million shares? So, hindi ba
Kita talaga din.
lumilitaw na parang ginamit lang yung holding corporation pero ang talagang may control
Mga binyaga.
ay yung Lopez Incorporated.
Lopez Inc.
Ito yung ayaw nilang i-disclose din. Dito maglalaro kung talagang ang ABS-CBN hindi niya pinaglaruan yung Section 11, Article 16 ng ating saligang batas na kung saan sinasabi na ang control at pamamahala ng isang television outfit
Pilipino.
ay limited only to Filipino citizens.
Okay.
Kaya nagtagal din ito. Ito yung masyadong masalimuot na kinapapalooban ng ABS-CBN na ayaw nila mismong
I-discuss.
i-broadcast o ayaw nilang ipaliwanag sa tao.
Yan.
So, mukhang ano nga ito kung mukhang isang malaking bagay na dapat may paliwanag mismo ng management. Kasi ngayon parang tumatakbo sila yung sentimientong kawawa naman ng kanilang 11,000 employees at saka million pong taga-subaybay ng ABS-CBN. At saka parang, ang mga statement po nila kasi ngayon, parang kaawa-awa kanilang kalagayan. Inapi ng gobyernong ito ang ABS.
Kung ikaw ay driver ng isang jeepney, Jen, alam mong wala kang prangkisa. Nagsakay ka ng maraming pasahero. Na napakahalaga ng pupuntahan nila sa araw na yon. Merong mga anak pupunta sa ospital, merong magpapagamot, merong mga pupuntahan na iba't ibang lugar. Punong-puno ang jeep mo. Pagkatapos, pin-lockdown ka ng LTFRB dahil wala kang prangkisa. Ang sasabihin mo ba, Mr. LTFRB, wag mo na pahintuin na yung kawawa naman itong mga pasahero ko. Hindi mo kapatigaw dyan ang unang nag-isip sa kapakanan ng mga pasahero mo.
Tama.
Na baka ikaw ay hulihin, malalagay naman sa alanganin, malalagay naman sa hindi magandang kalagayan ang mga pasahero mo. Di ba dapat responsable ka dyan bilang driver at may-ari ng jeep? Kailangan mo munang magkaroon ng prangkisa para naman yung kapakanan at benepisyo ng mananakay mo ay hindi mapariwara. At huwag mong gagamitin dyan yung kalagayan ng pasahero mo ngayon. Di ba? Simpleng paghalimbawa lang itong sinasabi natin. Dapat ngayon gagamitin mo yung kapakanan ng mga workers mo.
Di ba? Anong klaseng hustisya o anong klaseng mga tao ang gumawa nito?
Bakit? Palagay mo, mapunta tayo sa workers. Bakit may dalawang set ka ng workers? Merong tinatawag na regular, merong tinatawag na talent. Hindi alam ng mga kababayan natin, Jen, mahigit 100 mga talents nila ang naghain ng
reklamo
ng complaint laban sa ABS-CBN na ngayon ay umabot na sa Korte Suprema sapagkat nangatanggal sila dahil ang kanilang classification ay talent. Samantalang ang ginagawa nila ay kapareho ng ginagawa din ng regular. Ngayon, hinihingi ng komite na mag-submit sila ng status report kung ano nang kalagayan ng mga kasong isinampa ng napakarami nilang mga kawani. Yung bang mga talent, hindi kawani? Yung mga talent ba, hindi empleyado? Sino ba yung 11,000 na sinasabi nila, binabanggit nila, na kawawa naman? Paano yung mga talent nila na naghain din ng asunto laban sa kanila? Sapagkat hindi sila ni-regular, pinagtatanggal sila.
Iniisahan tayo ng ating Kongreso. Ang gusto ho ng malaman ng taong bayan ay ang katotohanan eh. Pero ang kailang pinagkakaabalahan ay prangkisa ng ABS-CBN. Bakit kasi inuna nila yung prangkisa, dapat ang unahin nila ay yung investigasyon para malaman ng taong bayan po ay may kasalanan. Yan po yung unfinished business niyan sa isyong ito. Trabaho lang po ito, walang personalan, itutuloy ko na. Mga taga-ABS-CBN, mga kongresista at mga politiko at mga may business yan sa broadcast na ito.
6 na taon nilang ginagawa na illegal. 6 na taon. Ang compute namin, aabot sila ng 10 trillion pesos na penalty.
Per day yan, 200 pesos a day.
Hindi, oo, per box. Per box.
Per box.
Per box. Yun nga eh. Hindi nga magkasya sa calculator namin na pinag-yun namin, trillion. Kaya nga sana,
dito.
yung ating pamahalaan, ito ang dapat nilang singilin ngayon, yung kanilang penalty para magamit dito sa COVID. Kasi trillion mo ito eh.
Tama.
Trillion ang halaga.
Kinompute lang dito ni Tos, 3.9 trillion ang utang nila sa gobyerno.
Hindi nag-a-apply ang ABS-CBN Corporation ng prangkisa. Pero kusa niyang binibigay.
Paano?
Ha? Kusang binibigay ni Alan Cayetano yung provisional authority. Tapos doon sa speech niya, yung bago niya yung binigay, sinasabi niya na maraming aligasyon ng violations ang ABS-CBN, maraming mga complaint, maraming nag-o-oppose, ganyan. Kaya nga, bibigyan muna namin ng provisional authority. Anong klase kabobohan yan? Marami pala violations eh. Pagkatapos marami palang reklamo. Tapos bibigyan mo. Hindi ba dapat ang tama niyan? Hindi mag-imbestiga ka muna. Total, meron namang inihain na resolution si Congressman Pulong Duterte na dapat ay imbestigahan muna ang mga violations ng ABS-CBN. Bakit hindi muna imbestigahan bago bigyan ng provisional authority? No? At saka wala naman sa Constitution yung provisional authority. Hanapin nyo sa Constitution, wala. No? At saka yung ginawa niya, na ni-railroad niya, first reading, approve, second reading, approve, yun ay taliwas sa Constitution. Bakit nire-require ng Constitution ang separate readings? 3 readings on separate days. Kasi para mabigyan ng due process. Para after first reading, isa-assign sa committee at yung committee ay lahat ng mga issues, lahat ng complaint, lahat ng mga bagay dyan, kanila munang pag-aralan, imbestigahan, at saka sila gagawa ng report para ipresenta uli sa plenaryo. Yun ang tinatawag na second reading. After na ma-determine o mapag-usapan kung ano-ano lahat ang mga issues, kung may complaint, kung may violation, kung may mga ginagawang kasalanan, ganyan. Hindi yung basta bibigay mo first reading, approve, second reading, approve, o ano namang klaseng sobra-sobrang pabor bigay. Imagine niyo, dalawa ang klase ng bill sa Congress. Isang public. Yung public ay yun yung tinatawag na mga bills na may kinalaman sa gobyerno, sa pamahalaan, sa mga benepisyo ng tao, sa kalahatan, yung tinatawag nilang public bills. Ang isang private bill, ito yung nagbibigay ng pribilehiyo sa isang private individual o kaya sa isang negosyo, no? Magkahiwalay yan. Kagaya ng sinabi nga ni Congressman Mike Defensor, yung inihain niyang bill ng dapat ay taasan ang sweldo ng mga public hospital doctors and nurses and health workers. Kasi para hindi sila maengganyo na magtrabaho sa abroad sa panahon ngayon ng crisis. Pay yung mga local government units health workers, yung mga LGU health workers. Yun yung mga tinatawag natin na mga frontliners sa mga LGUs. Pinapabigyan ng hazard pay kasi nga naman delikado yung COVID-19. Hindi din yan pinapansin ni Cayetano, no? Pagkatapos itong private bill tungkol sa negosyo ng ABS-CBN, no? Na hindi naman nag-apply, yan pa ang binibigyan niya ng pansin, no? Anong klaseng kabobohan yan? Diba? Halatang binibenta talaga tayo ni Alan Cayetano. Kaya nga sinasabi ko dapat palitan na yung Cayetano na yan Hindi dapat naging speaker yan. Kasi unang-una, dilawan yan. Kaya kayo mga DDS, loko kayo. Ha? Malaki kamalian na sinuportahan nyo yan si Alan Cayetano. Sabagay, ano ba naman yan? 5 million lang yung boto niya. Kaya nag-aambisyon pang magpresidente yan. Kaya ngayon pa lang, tutulan na natin yung mga ginagawa niya. No? Kasi niloloko tayo niyan. Niloloko tayo.
Motion to approve House Bill number 6732. As many in favor of the House Bill number 6732, please say aye. Aye. As many are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 6732 is approved.
May I interject, gentlemen?
according to Section 7, acceptance and compliance. Acceptance of this franchise shall be given in writing to the Congress within 60 days from the effectivity of this act. Upon given such acceptance, the grantee shall exercise the privileges granted under this act. Non-acceptance shall render the franchise void.
Definitely, once this franchise is approved, they have to either accept and comply. I cannot answer for them, but I feel this is a positive development, and I think they're compelled to attend.
Kasi nga po, maraming question din, Mr. Speaker, is this a renewal? Is this a new franchise? And so on and so forth. Pero yun na po, iniiwan ko na dun sa magiging puwang na 6 na buwan na pag-usapan yan. Pangalawa, Mr. Speaker, because of the constitutional provision, if I may read Section 11, no franchise certificate or any other form of authorization for the operation of a public utility shall be granted except to citizens of the Philippines or to corporations or associations organized under the laws of the Philippines. At least 60% of whose capital is owned by such citizens. Ang pangalawa kong tanong, Mr. Speaker, marami pong lumalabas na sinasabi ang pagmamay-ari ng ABS-CBN ay pag-aari ng isang US citizen. Nagre-renew po tayo ngayon ng isang prangkisa, magiging batas po ito. Nakita na po na natin ang ownership structure ng ABS-CBN sa ngayon na tayo po ay hindi nagba-violate ng isang constitutional provision on ownership. Batas na po ito, Mr. Speaker. Kahit sabihin po natin maghihiring tayo, may batas na po tayong papasukan, Mr. Speaker.
Malinaw talaga sa Article 16, Section 11, the ownership and management of mass media shall be limited to the citizens of the Philippines.
Gano'n ba kasama yung yung nangyari? Ano ba po bang nagawa namin mali? Ano bang nagawa ng mali ng kumpanya ko? Kasi yun ang tinatanong lagi ng mga tao eh.
Ito na ako, Kim, Argot, Angel at sa iba pang mga artista dyan. Ang mangilan-ngilan lamang na nakapangibabaw sa maraming kasong nakasampa at isinawalang bahala ng ABS-CBN. Ito ay ilan lamang sa mga kalaliman at punot dulo kung bakit ang ABS-CBN ay dapat i-shutdown na. Lalong-lalo na sa pagtuklas ng ating kasaysayang binulag ng oligarkong ito, ABS-CBN, sa mga panahong rehimen ng yumaong Pangulong Ferdinand E. Marcos between 1965 at masusing sabuatan ng mga traidor at rebeldeng Senator Benigno Aquino Jr., a nationalista party, na siya mismong nagtatag ng CPP-NPA sa tulong at sa pamumuno ni Bernabe Buscayan aka Commander Dante at Lieutenant Victor Corpus. Samantalang sa likod ng mga pangyayaring ito ay ang pinaigting at pagpapalawig ng puwersang puros kasinungalingan ng mga Lopez at ni Ginang Corazon Pinky Cuangco Aquino. Ang mga na-sequestered na mass media stations kasama na ang BBC2 upang palawigin, kondisyonin at ipihit ang panig ng suporta ng ilang pang mga Pilipino sa lipunan at malugmok ang sambayanang Pilipino kasama na ang mga plano ng ating yumaong Pangulong Ferdinand E. Marcos magmula ng 1986 EDSA
The owners is not a Filipino citizen or dual citizen. ABS-CBN violate the Constitution, particularly on foreign ownership. ABS-CBN violate election laws by being biased or favoring another or a few candidates. ABS-CBN violate labor laws. Napakarami pong nagkaso sa kanila sa husgado, from the lower courts to the higher courts. Ano po ang status? ABS-CBN violate tax laws. Maraming nagsasabi that they set up another company to evade payment of taxes. Hindi po ito ma-resolve in 1 hearing, 2 hearing, 3 hearings. Kailangan impartial, extensive.
Okay, for the record, Mr. Speaker, tinatanggap natin yung bill na to at sinusulong natin dahil ang presumption natin sumusunod to sa provision ng Konstitusyon. May mga aligasyon at yun ang mga titingnan natin, Mr. Speaker.
Siyempre, kailangan natin pasagutin ng ABS. Bakit nyo kailangan pagpatuloy? Bakit kailangan mag-run kayo ng franchise? Dapat sagutin po nila akusasyon. and answer the questions.
Yung huli na lang po, kasi nakalagay sa... Kasi yung akin po yung constitutional eh. Ownership, citizenship, at saka po itong pangalawa, ito pong 50 years lang ang deadline ng isang corporation na magkaroon ng prangkisa. Mr. Speaker, kanina ho, informally napag-usapan po natin yan. Gusto ko lang po malaman kasi ang ABS-CBN 1986, di ba po ba? So dapat, pero yung 25 years, dapat 1995. So Mr. Speaker, we violating any constitutional provision to this effect dito po sa pag-aproba natin dahil sobra sa 50 years ang prangkisa ng ABS-CBN kung ito po'y aprobahan natin sa darating na panahon.
Napakaganda talaga ng mga tanong ni Mike Defensor, Congressman. Precisely, kailangan talaga ng extensive. Can you imagine yung mga constitutional questions ni Mike Defensor? Isa pang congressman pa lang yan. Can you imagine? How many more will raise issues like this? This is precisely the reason why we really have to have extensive hearings conducted, not influenced by outside sources. Because precisely, yung dalawang punto na ni-raise ni Congressman Mike Defensor ay valid.
ABS violate the Constitution?
Regarding ownership, they cannot have a franchise for over 50 years.
This is a question of law.
Rules Committee would like, because we already have a deadline, pero gusto ko lang sabihin, Mr. Speaker, for the record, alam niyo, first time nangyari ito na Committee of the Whole tayo para ipasa ang isang batas. Pero sa isang banda, ang dami nating problemang dapat talagang harapin. Mr. Speaker, nag-file po ako mismo ng bill. Taasan ng sweldo ng mga doktor at nurses. Dahil ngayon, marami na nag-imbita sa kanilang umalis ng bansa. Dahil nga sa nangyaring epidemya sa buong mundo. Meron ng bill, kasama ko po si Congressman Teves, pag-increase ng hazard pay ng mga LGU frontliners at national frontliners. Economic stimulus bills, nandiyan po si Congressman Stella Kimbo, kasama po sila dyan, marami silang bill na pinapasa para palakasin ang ating ekonomiya. Yung improvement of facilities sa Department of Health. Ang dami po natin problema sa ngayon na COVID talaga ang kinakaharap natin. And yet, ang Kongreso, para makomodate ang problemang to, na Committee of the Whole tayo para gawin to.
Mr. Speaker, again, I reiterate my point. We have so many priorities.
Naipit lang talaga tayo. Yung ginawa ng NTC, mali talaga. At nag-file po ako ng resolution dyan. Hindi dapat nagsinungaling para nagkaroon tayo ng maayos na hearing at hindi tayo natataranta ng ganito.
But if and when the priority will become COVID or ABS-CBN, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, I will attend the hearings on COVID laws and COVID bills that is required by this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative from Sagip Party List, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Dante Marcoleta, is recognized to interpolate the good sponsor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. May the Honorable Sponsoring Deputy Speaker still accommodate a few questions by way of interpellation.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, with the initial action taken by the House last week in regard to our resolve to grant a provisional franchise to ABS-CBN, may I please know whether we receive a formal letter of appreciation from the officers of ABS-CBN Corporation?
Mr. Speaker, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar of any letter being received from ABS or any other organization with regards to the House bill we passed on second reading last week, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
But you're certain, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, that we have not formally received any letter of appreciation. I think the record would show.
Mr. Speaker, as far as my office is concerned, I cannot answer for maybe if they address it in the House or the Speaker's office. But in my case, as sponsor, I have not received any letter from any organization, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker.
Are you in a position, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, to determine today whether the House of Representatives received any such kind of letter today or in the past? I'm asking these questions, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, because I believe this bill is for their benefit, and ordinary people, and even ordinary people wouldn't hesitate to extend an appreciation for something that will benefit him. In the case of ABS-CBN, its silence probably would mean, Mr. Speaker, that they will be reluctant to even send a letter of appreciation to the initiative taken by the whole House of Representatives. This means, Mr. Speaker, to me, that ABS-CBN is not interested in the action initiated by the House, despite the fact that the rules, as we know, have been relaxed to facilitate this provisional franchise. Would you feel that way, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor?
I cannot speak for ABS, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, this representation believes that Speaker Alan Cayetano is correct in initiating this bill. First, this will prove what he has been asserting from the beginning, that Congress is not out to shut down ABS-CBN, although it must bear with us for the moment due to the interference of more pressing problems that we need to prioritize, like the present pandemic. Do you agree, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor?
I agree 100% with the stand of the Speaker. His statements that napakarami pong nangyari sa ating bansa. nagkaroon ng taon, COVID, hindi naman natin inaasahan. Nag-assure po ang NTC na magagaan siya ng provisional permit. Knowing that, nag-file tayo ng bill to have a provisional franchise. But then again, binalik natin po sa plenaryo, sa second reading, so that we can further discuss. Marami pang gusto magsalita.
In fact, Speaker Cayetano intimated on the floor last week that several fundamental issues surrounding the application for franchise renewal of ABS-CBN are these allegations of tax frauds, violation of labor laws, election laws, and even possible constitutional infringement. And the Speaker thought that this must be looked into. Seriously, do you agree, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor?
Tama po, kasi ang daming issue laws that have been violated. We should hear people alleging this, and we should also hear ABS. What is their side? Alleged constitutional laws violated, like ownership. The Constitution is very clear. Media, particularly, should be 100% be Filipino-owned. Election laws violated. Tax laws violated. Kailangan po lahat ng mga yan pakinggan sa isang malawakan na pandinig at hearing para talagang marinig lahat. Then let ABS also defend themselves. Yung sinasabing equal protection, paano naman yung ibang mga nag-apply ng prangkisa na ordinaryong registration na umaabot ng 3 taon, 5 taon, samantalang gusto natin pagbigyan dahil allegedly media giant. So, importante talaga malawakang hearing, impartial, due process, ibigay sa lahat, for or against.
As an example of these allegations, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, based on the 2018 audited financial statement of ABS-CBN Corporation, it has pending legal cases in courts. We need to know the nature of these cases, whether criminal, civil, or tax-related cases, and the respective status. Personally, Mr. Speaker, this representation wants to know the status of the case appealed by ABS-CBN in the Supreme Court involving some 103 of its workers, referred to as talents, and who were terminated by this company without just cause. Do you agree, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor?
Tama po yan.
Nag-shooting raw ng teleserye sa ABS ay minsan lumalampas ng 24 hours, which is definitely against labor laws. Ang tinanong ko, bakit yan? Dahil ang bayad raw sa kanila is per day, so sinasagad talaga yung 24 hours. So meron din na senior citizen, may mga extra, TV crew. So ito po ang mga bagay na dapat marinig ng tao.
Yung issue ng press freedom, definitely, hindi naman totoo po yan. Kahit debatehin natin yan. Dahil as we speak, alam niyo naman, na-expired na ang franchise ng ABS, and yet they continue to operate through YouTube, through Facebook, napapanood mo pa rin ng ANC, napapanood mo pa rin ng ABS News Channel. So there's the issue on press freedom and freedom of expression, definitely, is not valid, and press freedom and freedom of expression is stronger now than ever. So tama po ang mga punto na sinasabi ng ating kagalang-galang na Deputy Speaker, Marco
Coleta. Records also show that the BIR, Mr. Speaker, sued ABS-CBN and its 2 subsidiaries, ABS-CBN Film Production Inc. and ABS-CBN Publishing. In all the 5 cases lodged in the Court of Tax Appeals, ABS-CBN entered into compromise agreements with the BIR. In one case, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, docketed as case number 9411, ABS-CBN entered into a judicial compromise with the BIR, paying the amount of 152,437,330 pesos and 93 centavos. We need to know why ABS-CBN needed to be first sued by the BIR before it settles its fiscal obligations in apparent violation of Section 8 of its old franchise, which it now seeks to renew. Do you agree, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor? Mr. Speaker, ABS-CBN does not deny that Lopez Incorporated, one of its major stockholders, transferred 132 million ABS-CBN Corporation shares to its alter ego, the ABS-CBN Holdings Corporation, before the closing of its offering of 132 million Philippine Depositary Receipts, or PDRs, underlying the shares on September 29, 1999. I believe this is the reason why the Solicitor General commenced a co-warrantor proceeding against ABS-CBN. Do you know, Mr. Speaker, that our Committee on Legislative Franchises sought sample copies of these PDRs from ABS-CBN Corporation?
Isabina po yung mga documents na yan.
But do you know that instead of a representative from ABS-CBN, a representative from ABS Holding Corporation instead was the one who submitted a PDR form, not a sample PDR issued by the holding company. This is not only insulting, Mr. Speaker. They are bent on hiding something. It was a simple request of being able to see what a PDR looks like. Maybe because of curiosity, our Committee on Franchises asked them to please present Xerox copies of these PDRs. There are 132 million PDRs issued. Not even one they are able to present as a sample copy. What they did present is a sample form, Mr. Speaker.
Tama po yan. Lahat po yan dapat isapina, i-present sa committee, malaman ng publiko to help us decide freely and objectively. Napakarami pa po niyan mga tanong na yan. May nang nagsasabi nga, na nag-apply nga raw sila ng franchise noong 16 Congress, 2014-16, pero nung hiningian rin sila ng mga dokumento, hindi rin po nag-submit.
Mr. Speaker, a Philippine Depositary Receipt, or PDR, is a security which grants the holder the right to delivery of sale of the underlying share. It consists of a deposit price and an option price. An option price is considered as payment when the buyer opts to exercise his option of converting the PDRs to ABS-CBN corporate shares. Each PDR issued by ABS-CBN Holdings at a consideration of 46 pesos, consisting of a deposit of 45 and 90 centavos and PDR option of 10 cents each. The PDR, Mr. Speaker, has all the marks or attributes of ownership, possession, enjoyment, and disposition. Mr. Speaker, it appears that the power to trigger the disposition of these 132 million ABS-CBN shares was already transferred to the holders of these PDRs. Many of these have fallen into the hands of foreigners. At the very least, Mr. Speaker, there is a need to pierce the veil of corporate fiction of ABS-CBN Holdings to expose this scheme. Would you agree to me, Mr. Speaker? There is a Latin maxim which reads, "Quando alicit ex directo prohibitur et per obliquum," which means that what cannot be legally done directly cannot be done indirectly. Mr. Speaker, we need to ascertain that these PDRs are not being utilized as legal subterfuges in order to make illusory the all-Filipino requirement of the Constitution on the ownership and management of mass media outfits. Do you agree, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor?
So, Mr. Speaker, regarding yung mga issues po na nire-raise ni Deputy Speaker Marcoleta, I think we should fully note all this information, and this will help this body decide kung tama ba talagang bigyan ng prangkisa o hindi. At papasalamat kami kay Congressman Marcoleta dahil alam mo, sa media, puro pabor ang naririnig natin.
Of the four stockholder corporations that own Lopez Inc., which is the majority stockholder of ABS-CBN Corporation, two of them admitted in their documents submitted to the Committee on Legislative Franchises that they are not wholly owned Filipino, including the dubious PCD Nominee Corporation, another major owner of ABS-CBN, which apparently represents the interests of PDR holders. Don't you think we need to scrutinize this issue more properly, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor?
Malinaw po yan sa Constitution, Article 16, Section 11. The ownership and management of mass media shall be limited to citizens of the Philippines. So, we have to determine whether the ABS-CBN violated this constitutional provision such that some of its owners are not Filipino citizens.
I also believe that the House needs to inquire on the issues revolving around the sequestration of mass media outfits in April 1986, including BBC Channel 2, now ABS-CBN Corporation, and the eventual return of ABS-CBN to the Lopezes. One of the objectives of Executive Order Number 11 of then-President Cory Aquino was to settle the question of the true ownership of these media outfits, including that of ABS-CBN Channel 2. Surprisingly, Mr. Speaker, the PCGG has no records on the arbitration between the government and the ABS-CBN before the Board of Arbitration and the events that transpired leading to or after the turnover of the ABS-CBN. Do you agree, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor?
Tama po yan. Meron rin po akong nabasa niyan at marami rin po akong nakitang mga dokumento that ABS-CBN was already owned by the government. And when then President Cory Aquino took over as president under a revolutionary government, for some reason, with no public bidding, no right process, it was awarded back to the Lopez family. So we have to investigate, we have to know the truth, what transpired during those times and how it was returned to the Lopez family. Hindi po ito alam ng publiko kasi palaging sinasabi it was sequestered, taken away from them during the administration of then President Marcos. But there were also reports that they were paid for. Binayaran po sila at nabayaran po sila, and yet, noong 1986, it was returned to them.
So these are questions that have to be answered. The public should know the truth about this.
There are other persistent allegations, Mr. Speaker, on the fraudulent use of tax shields by ABS-CBN, like deferred tax assets, especially the NCIP, and the net operation loss carryover, or NOLCO, to arrive at a meager tax payment to the government. We need also to verify the claim of ABS-CBN that in 2018, it had a revenue loss of 22 billion, together with its reported losses in production cost, 13.6 billion, cost of sales, 2.4 billion, cost of services, 29 million, and general and administration services, 7.1 billion, which allegedly resulted to an operating loss of 432 million. Do you agree, Mr. Speaker, that we need to look into these allegations more properly?
Definitely. These are revealing, blatant allegations that have to be discussed in an open hearing, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Finally, Mr. Speaker, we need to look into the allegation that Mr. Gabby Lopez III, the Chairman Emeritus of ABS-CBN Corporation, was an American citizen at the time he took over the reins of this mass media giant. Again, this is because of the strict provision of our Constitution on media ownership and management. Never mind, Mr. Speaker, that ABS-CBN persistently claims that this is a closed case. They argue that Mr. Gabby Lopez is both an American citizen and a Filipino citizen. He having born with Filipino parents and having born in America under the jus soli principle. So they think, Mr. Speaker, that Mr. Gabby Lopez is a lucky guy, he being a Filipino citizen at the same time an American citizen. But we all know, Mr. Speaker, that when you reach the age of majority, it's up to you to select your own citizenship. And by the fact that he was using American passport, Mr. Speaker, I think Mr. Gabby Lopez chose to be an American citizen than being a Filipino. Do you believe, Mr. Speaker, that the United States will grant him a passport without renouncing his Filipino citizenship?
Importante po talaga na masagot itong mga tanong na to dahil as mentioned earlier, the Constitution clearly states that ownership and management of mass media shall be limited to the citizens of the Philippines. Meron po ako nabasa, tama po yung sinabi ni D.S. Marcoleta na gumagamit po ng American passport si Mr. Gabby Lopez. In fact, na-detail po doon yung flight number, passport number, when it was used, what country, when they entered. So, kailan, at ito naman, sa kabilang panig naman, dinideny naman po ng ABS-CBN na hindi totoo. So, kailangan talagang pakinggan. And the best proof for this, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, is yung documentary evidence. So, pag sinampi na yan, Bureau of Immigration, US government, at papatunayan talaga na hindi siya Filipino citizen, then it will help members of Congress to decide na nag-violate siya ng constitutional law at it will help us decide whether to grant or deny the franchise. Ngayon, sa isang panig naman, kung napatunayan naman nilang hindi yan si American citizen, then it will also help us decide whether to grant or deny. So, again, we need an impartial, comprehensive hearing, giving due process to all sides. Yung mga informasyon na sinasabi po ni D.S. Marcoleta ay dapat lang ilatag po yan sa hearing. Salamat po, Mr. Speaker.
The reason that I insist on this question, referring specifically to ABS-CBN officials, because I will not be happy, Mr. Speaker, if ABS-CBN, despite the grant of a provisional franchise on a silver platter, will still choose to lock down operations on the ground that it did not ask for such temporary authority in the first place. I will not like to see the Congress to be placed in that situation, Mr. Speaker. That is why I feel that this question is very important.
We have to decide. Personally, I have not decided whether I'm for or against. I just want to hear all sides first. Nakakalungkot man sabihin, COVID bill, trabaho, dagdag sweldo. Pero pag nag-hearing kasi ang ABS, yun ang kino-cover ng media. So, yun lang ang nakakalungkot because this Congress is very productive, transparent, relevant, and responsible. Ang nakakalungkot lang kasi, ang dami na nating Zoom hearings, actual hearings, to improve the lives of our people. Pero hindi po nakakover. Pero ngayon siguro, itong pinag-uusapan natin ng ABS, sigurado headline. Pero we would like to assure the Filipino people, we will do what is right, we will prioritize what is right, keeping in mind that we have to help our brothers and sisters na naghihirap while attending to this issue of ABS. Salamat po, Mr. Speaker.
Mga kamuta pips, sana okay kayong lahat. Kung gusto nyong iba pang videos, puntahan nyo ako sa ironmandailydriven.ph YouTube channel. Like and subscribe na lang please. Keep safe and stay home. Save lives. Ingat kayong lahat. God bless.